Heckman, do you have any additions or corrections to make to the pre-sentence report?
I do not, Your Honor.
Do you, Mr. Zevelking?
No, Your Honor.
Do you agree, Mr. Parker?
Yes.
And Mr. Heckman, is there a victim wishing to be heard?
I do not believe so, Judge. I will confirm. Is there anybody here on behalf of the victim who wishes to make a statement? There's not.
And did you have a statement to make on behalf of the people?
Your Honor, I would ask you to sentence the defendant to a lengthy term with Michigan Department of Corrections as a result of his conduct that leads him to this courtroom today. I think he's incredibly lucky that he's not here on a much more serious charge, particularly given the facts and circumstances of the case.
Okay, and Mr. Zevelking, well, everyone, I did notice that the jail credit was not correct on the jail credit sheet. Well, first of all, they gypped him out of a day. It should be $496, not $495. Then on the front page, he's not entitled to any credit for count 1 because of the felony firearm being required to be consecutive so any other sentence would have to be consecutive to the felony firearm. So he's only entitled to the 496 days on counts 2 and 3, not count 1. So I did change that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I neglected to mention that earlier. But
Thank
Mr.
you.
Zevelking, did you have a statement on behalf of Mr. Parker?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Parker, he's 38 years old. He just has one prior offense, and that was a misdemeanor, so very limited criminal history from back in 2015. He's been a very hardworking individual. He's held steady jobs throughout his adult life that shows his ability to follow rules and to be consistent. He has a family, a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old child that he's very much a part of their lives in. He has very strong family support. His mother, Benita Parker, is here today. Understand that this offense is very, very serious. He understands that. He made a very bad decision, a very bad mistake. Guidelines range are appropriately set quite high. We would ask this court to consider a sentence in the lower half of the guidelines range, and we would ask for a restitution hearing if Mr. Self is submitting any medicals. Thank you.
All right, and Mr. Parker, did you have anything that you'd like to say before I sentence you?
Like you said, it was a mistake. You got my son, my other daughter, my stepdaughter that I take care of, and I was strongly involved in. So, yeah, just ask the court to be lenient on with it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, well, Mr. Parker, at this point, as your attorney said, you're 38 years old and you only have one prior misdemeanor on your record, which just makes this scenario all the more inexplicable. And you were convicted by a jury for these offenses, which occurred back in April of last year, where you had an altercation with the victim, in this case, Mr. Self, who was a co-worker of yours, that culminated in you shooting him while he was sitting in his car. You shot him numerous times. It's just miraculous that you didn't kill him, and you're not here for a different charge. He testified that he still, and I don't know if he made a victim impact, I don't recall at this point, but he did testify that he still has a bullet inside of him near his spine. He lost his kidney. He suffered some very significant injuries as a result of your actions. And it's just highly unfortunate. It's unfortunate for you, it's unfortunate for him, and it's definitely unfortunate for your children that this whole situation occurred. And I'm sure you've had lots of time to think about it, to think about how things could have gone differently. But at this point, I'm here to sentence you for these offenses, and so that's what I'm going to do. For the attempted homicide charge, your guidelines are 126 to 210 months. For the carrying concealed weapon, they're 7 to 23 months, and for a felony firearm, they're not applicable because that's a mandatory sentence that I'm sentencing you to of 2 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections with credit for 496 days already served. As for the CCW, I'm sentencing you to 1.5 to 5 years with credit for 496 days already served. These two counts will run concurrently with each other and consecutively to count 1, which is the attempt homicide, where, as I said before, your guidelines are 126 to 210 months. For that charge, I'm sentencing you to 15 to 25 years in Michigan Department of Corrections, and you won't have any credit towards that at this point. And again, that will have to be consecutive to the other counts. I'm ordering restitution in the amount of $0 to Mr. Self because I don't have any figures. Once he supplies those figures to the prosecutor, they can then request a restitution hearing. There's also a $60 DNA fee, a $130 crime victim rights assessment, $1,000 in court costs, and $204 state minimum costs. And Mr. Parker, you do have 42 days to appeal your sentence. If you'd like a court-appointed attorney to represent you in an appeal, you have 42 days to make that request. Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Just so I have this clear, Judge, you listed sentences for counts 1 and 2, which are concurrent to each other, but consecutive to count 3, and no credit at all for counts 1 or 2, correct?
Well, I can't do concurrent with a felony firearm and CCW.
Okay, all right, but you gave
So
him
I
credit on
stated
count
it the
2?
way that I meant it, which was count 1 is gonna be consecutive to count 3. And I said count 2 as well, but really, those will run together, I should have said. So, but it's concurrent with both.
1 and 2 concurrent, consecutive to count 3.
Correct, but 2 is concurrent with count 3, which is gonna make a beautiful judgment of sentence.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
All right, okay, good luck to you, Mr. Parker.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks.